Hello YouTube, welcome back to the Drifter Saloon. Ven Corbin here with the next WWE Champions featured superstar. Scopely gave us the Hall of Fame Iron Sheik this weekend, who is a technician class and of the era Hall of Fame. The coaching ability that is given to the superstar is less damage taken from blue moves, and that scales from 5% to 30% respectively. Does not go past 30%. And at 18k, any color move starting with MP will be reduced by your opponent by 1. So very good counter to Santa Hogan if you have this character. So again, I want to throw out there, please do not throw any hate at the content creators or any sort of, we do this for fun. We try to keep this as lighthearted and honest as possible, and I feel like we got a lot of honest reviews today, and I'm very excited to share this with you folks. I will say there is one swear word, well technically two. It's a sound bit that I will be using in Iron Sheik's review at the end. I will be doing Iron Sheik 84's review last, as in the community, Iron Sheik is obviously known for his namesake, and it's his character. That's who he likes. He's a very big fan of the Iron Sheik character in WWE. So I will be doing his last out of respect for him. I don't know. It's kind of like how I would picture people do it for like Balor for me, that kind of thing. So, but we're gonna get started here, and of course we start off with the infamous 2Bob. 2Bob says, he's a good card, a 9 with gears, solid tech in today's day and age, but he's not consistent turn 1 character, so he's not a consistent turn 1 character, so he doesn't get as high of a ranking as other cards might. With both his gears, his damage output goes up significantly, making him much more consistent turn 2. Potential turn 1 card if the meta is right, and with the right setup. But honestly, very surprised they changed him. I'm not on the side of every new card that comes out must be the next big thing. And that's very true. This Iron Sheik, for those who are not aware, this Iron Sheik did get a makeover. That's the terminology I've been using it. Everyone's going to call it whatever differently. But he did get a makeover, and the makeover, I don't know. People are going to have differing opinions on it, but I don't think that every card that comes out is going to be phenomenally fantastic. Benny's up next saying, without gears and skill plate, he's still pretty good. Built with Steel, Matt Hardy, San Martino, and Benjamin, with an all-heart skill plate. Not so good with other builds against 5-star golds. Yes, I did pull my second Hall of Fame from Bags, so I'm assuming Benny pulled Iron Sheik. And then he finished off by saying, Iran #1, America, and then we're going to leave it at that. So up next, BPG, Big Papa Gaming, says, he can hit like a truck on the second turn with his triple green moveset, which seems to be the moveset that most folks gravitate to. Unfortunately, you truly need both gears and his special plate to have the full effect. Absolute stud with both gears, though. Even at a 9.5 is what BPG would put him at. That's not what he rated him, but he's saying with both gears and plate, 9.5. Davey D chimes in. Davey D was the first person to get me the review. I didn't even get the copy pasta out, and Davey D was like, this is how I feel. Don't really see much impact from his silence gems with gear. Takes a few too many turns, so he's not turn 1. Only really great with third gear with the sub build and the all heart plate. So this is the third person, I believe, to mention the all heart plate. And he could be turn 2. DJ was very short this week, and very concise. He says, no favorite moveset, and the gear plate would make him maybe a 6 or a 7. You'll see what he rates him when we get there. Godflow comes in saying, awesome, he is a Hogan counter coach, which is what I mentioned at the beginning. I believe he means that Hogan. He's a hot mess, which for Sheiky Baby is fitting, I suppose. Better than nothing. A little bit of a positive review from Godflow there, honestly, looking at the positive side of things. So, Goldie is up next, and So Goldie's comment is as follows. Yeah, that's what she was gonna put, and then she comes back and says, "Okay, serious comments. The revamp to his move damage was much needed. It was very frustrating having to redo his previews multiple times. Again, shout out to all the content creators that take time to make those previews. You guys are awesome. You're actually what allows us to review them if we don't get the superstars. So thank you for doing those reviews. I know it's a lot of work. Please make sure you're following those content creators that do so. So yes." Very frustrating having to redo previews multiple times, but after it was all said and done, they did him justice. The first gear really doesn't add much as it's not the moveset that I would use. The second gear is absolutely insane, leaving times 14 gems on his primary color after submission, but that will obviously be hard to obtain. Unfortunately, his submission is still too long at 5-star gold, even with Champa, but that will obviously be hard. Oh, even with, okay, with or without gears, his triple green moveset is by far superior, which again, another content creator that thinks that the moveset is the triple green moveset. And can hit for 1 million damage on turn 2. He has the unfortunate task of competing with other fantastic technicians that have been released in the last 6 months or so, and the unfortunate burden of having to use expensive rare tokens to upgrade. That said, Sheik the real, Hogan the forever jabroni Bubba. Like, there's so many people referencing Iron Sheik sayings. I'm glad that Goldie went with something a little bit more tame. Okay, so on to the next individual. Great J-Man pipes up with saying, decent character with the recent improvements, but it's not nearly enough. Too many of his moves cause early pins, far too much board dependency on green gems to play submission gems, and not having them get broken. Like other Hall of Fames, he's very gear dependent, and the gold gear will be very difficult to obtain. The coaching ability is extremely underwhelming. He'll get the job done, but given the rare Hall of Fame token requirements, it's a hard pass to take him up without gears. J-Man is very well worded whenever he sends me his review of the character, and honestly, that's a very concise, good way to put it. I agree with J-Man there. Gerson, straight to the point, very underwhelming character. I'd say he's about a 5.5 without gear and 7 with gears. His best setup relies on having even multipliers survive the sub, which is unreliable at best, and the 2 other movesets don't recycle, leaving you dead in the water. So y'all got a quick preview on what people are rating him with what Gerson said. We're going to skip Sheik and go to Merrick's. Merrick's saying, being a Hall of Fame and a tech hurts him. He's usable... Hurts him. Usable, even good, even with... I'm sorry. Merrick says... He chops up the way he writes things, so... Being a Hall of Fame and a tech hurts him. He's usable, even good with gears, but way too large of an investment for the return. Basically, what Merrick's is going on about with this is kind of what he said before in previous posts, that Hall of Fame makes a lot of these characters really difficult because of the tokens, and then being a tech is even harder. Retro comes in and says, as a coach, meh. As a card, the level of disrespect towards the Sheik is shocking. The fact they had to fix the card after the fact is proof enough. Even then, the new card is bland. That with the event, as it seems less bags to try to get him, makes me want to give him a big fat 0. But my ranking will be F it. It's a 0. A -9 if you want to count the event too. So the retro score it exists for a reason. Retro is giving him a very low score. We'll go with Zinker next. Zinker says, my rating is 7, and you may wonder why so low. He's a good fighter. I think his combination is the 3 greens, again. But Scopely continues to take repeated coaches or coach actions, and he's a copy and paste of the Acrobat Trish, except for the last one. But really, it's trainers and skills that don't help much, and that's why I give it such a low rating. Honestly, Zinker, that's not as low as some other people. Sapper says, Sheik looks pretty good, both the poster and our very own Iron Sheik 84. His all-green sub-build looks to be the most damaging build. Without gear, he is still a solid poster. Without gear, an 8. With gear, 9. His only downfall is that he's at turn 2 in Showdown to even get going, and with the Hall of Fame tag link. Unless you use double MP trainers, which reduces his overall damage. In Feud, he's turn 1 to start and can finish turn 2, so not the quickest. Alright. And then, of course... We have one last one to do with Iron Sheik 84. I'm so glad that he was able to join us for this one and give us his review. So, Sheik says, I was extremely excited about the Hall of Fame Iron Sheik, more than most everyone here. I don't doubt that at all, Sheik. I know that every single character release can't automatically be the best in the game, but after seeing G's preview on mute while I was in a meeting Friday morning, my heart sunk. Incoming swear. He is a big jabroni like the Hulk Hogan, I thought silently while on my conference call. Then I heard that they was getting a revamp on his moves, and I got ecstatic. They're fixing him. Yes, unfortunately, while the revamp makes him viable, I don't think it even puts him in the contention of being in Tier 1. And at the risk of driving this issue into the ground, the valuable Hall of Fame tokens are better spent on other Hall of Fame characters. That honestly broke my heart when I got that review from Iron Sheik. I don't really say anyone's specific review is better than the others, just because I want to make sure it's as fair as possible. But I was excited to hear Sheik's review of this character, and it really hurt that he couldn't live up to where Iron Sheik 84, one of our very own in the community, couldn't even be excited for him. I'm going to be honest, so I'm going to give my review here. I have Eddie Guerrero at 5-star bronze, going 5-star silver. I have both his gears for him. Eddie Guerrero is my go-to tech, Honky Tonk Man being a follow-up to that. If I did pull Iron Sheik, I do not think I would have taken him up. I watched multiple reviews on this character, and nothing about him seemed like I would want to invest my resources in him. And that's including the coaching ability that you folks can see on screen. So Ven here just saying, I don't think that Iron Sheik got the treatment he should have gotten. Especially since the other Iron Sheik isn't really the greatest either. It would have been nice to have at least one be really viable. So, with all that said and done, we're going to jump into the scoring for this. I'm actually kind of scared to show you folks this, because this is probably the lowest we've seen ever. And there it is. So we have a 7, 7.5, 6, 7, 4, 7.5, 8, 7, 5.5, 5.5, 7.5, 0, 8, 7, and 6, for a total average of 6.2, putting him in a very solid Tier 2 placement. Iron Sheiks, I want to point out, at a 5.5 is very low. Of course, everybody here add on a point or two for if he had both gears. Most people say if he had both gears, he goes up a point. I think it was Big Papa Gaming who said he was a 9.5 with both gears, and Big Papa Gaming gave him a 6 without, so he goes up 3.5 points with both gears, which is a significant jump. And I know I'm kind of tangenting here, but the retro score of the week came from Retro himself, putting him at a 0, and it's okay. People can feel that way. Again, this is a for fun project that we do. We see 10s all the time. This is our first ever 0, and I'm very sad that it went to Iron Sheik out of anybody that we've seen. And then a lot of people really in the middle. If Retro didn't give a 0, so if we take Retro out of the pool, DJ Anon actually gave the Retro score of the week at 4. And that just shocks me. That's very shocking to see a score like that, but it makes sense. It makes total sense for this character. So, with all of that, I hope you folks enjoyed the video. I know this one's a little bit longer, but we had a lot to say about this one, and it's good that we're having a little bit of communication here. We got every single person on board that's on this project, so we had a full 15 people critique and give a score, so thank you to everybody. All of their links will be listed in the YouTube description down below. Please follow them on either YouTube or Twitch. They're fantastic individuals. And then, of course, the last thing I want to plug is myself. I'm trying to grow on YouTube, so please like, comment, subscribe. Subscribing being the most important right now. And hey, if you have critiques for me and you want to see me do better, take a moment, leave a comment, let me know what I can do to improve, because it only gets better with your guys' help. With that, I have nothing else to say. It's been a ton of fun, and I will catch you folks on the next one. Take it easy.